Hi there, how are you doing? I'm Alice, also known as Stormy Stitcher, and I'm back for my 5th Flosstube video. It's been a little while, it's been a hot minute. I think it's been about 3 weeks since I uploaded number 4. Lots happened since then, so quick life update. I finished my doctorate, I had my final exam and I had to make a few little amendments to my thesis, but otherwise they were happy with it, so it passed, which is a big relief, very happy about that. And then pretty much straight away after that happened, my husband and I packed up and moved house about 5 hours away. So we're now back living in my hometown, which is fantastic, ready to start my job in September. So yeah, it's been a hectic few weeks getting everything unpacked and organised, and then we've got a garden now, so I've been getting to grips with how to take care of a garden. I've had half my hair chopped off, as you can see, my first post-lockdown haircut, so I'm feeling a bit more human now, which is fantastic. So, but in and amongst all of that, I have found a little bit of time to get stitching. I've been doing a thing on Instagram called hashtag 31 days of cross stitch, which has been really good fun. So every day there's a little prompt and you post a picture of things like your stitching spot or your stash or your threads, and it's just a nice way to meet lots of other cross stitchers. I've certainly found loads more people to follow. I've found some new floss tubers through doing it, so yeah, it's not too late. Hop on now if you want to do that. Hashtag 31 days of cross stitch. So before I get into my stitching today, I wanted to first of all say a huge thank you to Nadine, or as she's known on YouTube and Instagram, she is Nads, NADZ_XStitch, and she is a floss tuber and she posts loads of cool stuff on Instagram. I want to say a big thank you to her because after my last video, when I showed my chart that I'd got of the Mystic Wizard, she sent me a huge amount of really useful information all about how to find hand-dyed fabric, because she looked at that and she thought, oh yeah, I think that would really suit some, you know, nice dark purple or blue hand-dyed fabric. So thank you, Nads, that was so helpful because I'm still really new to the whole thing of hand-dyed fabric. So I'll definitely be following your advice once I've got a bit more cash, and going to some of those people you recommended to get myself some fabric. I think it just reminded me though what an amazing community this is and how everyone is so helpful and so willing to share their knowledge and their expertise. So long may it continue, it's fantastic. Okay, time for some old finishes. So, back in my first video, I showed a piece that my grandma had stitched for me a long time ago, and I think I said at the end of that, oh yeah, I'll try and show a few each video. Obviously that went out the window because I haven't done that at all since the first one, and someone commented, I think on video number 4, and said, oh, are you going to share any more of your grandma's finishes? I was like, oh yeah, I had promised that I would do that. So here we go, we're back on the train with grandma's finishes. This is what I have to show you today. I'm sorry about the glare on the glass, I'm sat opposite a window now. So yeah, new backdrop, new house, new backdrop. Anyway, back to the focus. This is a piece called Starry Starry Nights, and she's written on the back, helpfully. It's by Laura J Perrin, stitched by my grandma for me in 2003. So this is needlepoint, obviously, rather than cross stitch. It's probably my favourite thing she's ever stitched for me. It's exactly my colours, purples, pinks, sort of aqua. I'll try and get a bit closer so you can see, because there's tons of speciality stitches in here. Lots of satin stitch, lots of other stitches that I don't know the name of. It's just so beautifully done. So I think I've said before, my grandma does do cross stitch, but she also does all kinds of other needle art and needle embroidery stuff. There's lots of glitter in there as well, actually. I'd sort of forgotten about that until I got it out recently and had a good look. So there we go. Another old finish from my grandma. There's lots more to come. Plenty more to dig through and find. Okay, now let me see. I've got a little list for today. Next thing I was going to do was my old finishes. As I said as well in the first video, I'd go through and some of my old stuff and show you that, but I completely forgot about that recently. So here we go. This is one that I started a long time ago. So I started it when I was about 19. So that was about 12 years ago. And then back in 2017, when I was on a placement for university away from home, I took this with me to do in the evenings to keep me occupied. This came from a magazine, probably Cross Stitch Crazy or something like that. and it was my first ever time working on evenweave. I remember getting very confused about how many threads I was supposed to be going over and which holes I was supposed to be using, but I obviously got the hang of it eventually, and it used anchor threads because that was what the shop that I lived near at the time, they sold only anchor threads, so that's what I did it in. But it's nice, got lots of nice pretty backstitch detail. I like the colour fabric it's on as well, sort of oatmeal colour. So there we go, this one's now sitting on our new mantelpiece, pride of place. And then the other old finish I've got to show you today is this. Now you might recognise this one, it was a free stitch along from Lakeside Needlecrafts. And I ended up starting this one either last summer or the summer before, I can't remember, but at the time I was a member of the Facebook group, I'm going to say this wrong probably, I think it's Magical Stitches and Literature, and it's kind of a combined reading and cross-stitching group where you work on certain pieces each week to match what you're reading. So at the time it was about Harry Potter. I don't know if they're still doing Harry Potter, I left the group a little while ago. Anyway, long story short, the prompt one week was to work on something to do with tea, because we were reading the 5th Harry Potter book, all about Dolores Umbridge, and obviously she's a bit obsessed with tea. So somebody in the group suggested that this was a free pattern. It still is, I think, available on Lakeside Needlecrafts website. Now that I'm showing you this, I've got a funny feeling I've shown this before, because I remember saying all this before. So if I'm repeating myself, I do apologise. Anyway, there it is. Tea and Cake from Lakeside Needlecraft. I'll leave that one there, just in case I'm repeating myself. You know, when something just makes you think, hang on a minute, I've said this before, deja vu. Okay, so without further ado, on to this week's finishes. So despite all the craziness of life over the last few weeks, I was lucky enough to get one thing finished, and it was this moral compass from Bendy Stitchy. And I stitched this on a piece of 32 count Belfast in Vintage Stormy Night, and here it is. Oh yes, so nice little stitch, but I do love it. Easy, right, soon we must choose. Now, a funny story about this one. So as I said earlier, I'm very new to hand-dyed fabrics and anything other than Aida or evenweave. I didn't realise some fabric has a front and a back side. So this is the front, obviously it's got nice grey mottling on. This side is much plainer, and I didn't realise that until I'd done about 100 stitches and had to unpick it all because I wanted this nice pattern to show through on the fabric. Anyway, good lesson for me. We learn by making mistakes, don't we? So that was my only finish for this video. On to some whips. So I've been pleasantly surprised with how much stitching time I've actually been able to eke out over the last couple of weeks, despite everything else that's been going on. So I've put quite a few hours into this free garden stitch along from Durene Jones. This is available on her Facebook pages. So I've managed to add in this little garden gnome down here with his toadstool and the bird sitting on it. And then the other thing I did was I went back to all the previous blocks that I had done, and I did all the back stitching that goes around each block, which has really made this come to life now. I'm really loving it. And I'm so close, I can smell the finish, it's nearly there. Just got to do, I think there's a flower down here, and then go back and do my border around here, which will be fine. I have been dreading it, but actually I would really like to see this one finished, so I think it'll be probably a finish by the time I film another video. Here's hoping. Famous last words. We'll see what happens. Okay, another one I worked on just a little bit, just a teensy bit. I showed you the fabric for this in my last video. It is Always Flowers from Tiny Modernist and Off the Grid Needle Arts. I'm just going to quickly fit my light on, get a bit more light on it. So here we go. And like I say, not a massive start on this one. A teeny tiny little start really. I'm stitching this on 32 count Permin in Natural Light. But already I love the colours. I think I'm using a mixture of DMC and CXC. Just whatever I've got in stash really. So I've got a little bit of the words starting to appear. Yeah, very pretty. I'm not sure how well the colours are showing up actually because of the lighting. But you get the idea. That's going to be quite a big one when it's finished. But it's not too full coverage, so it probably shouldn't take too long. That's that one. Add that to the pile over there. Lost my needle minder. And then the other thing that I worked on is Deck the Halls from Caterpillar Cross Stitch. So this was their Christmas 2019 stitch along, and I was keeping up until about December last year, I think. So when I started at this time, this is one of my Whip Go focus pieces, by the way, for July. I finished off the top of stocking, and then I did all the motifs on the top row there, and then I came down to the bottom and started working on the mistletoe bit here. And that's been nice because this isn't too complicated. It's all been one colour pink along here, and Caterpillar cross stitch. There's no back stitch, no fractionals. It's all just full cross stitches, which is nice. Don't have to think too hard. Yeah, it would be nice to finish this by Christmas so I could have it up. Wouldn't that be nice? We'll see. It might be a bit ambitious, maybe. So Tiny Modernist released a Christmas SAL the other day. It's a mystery SAL, so you can't see what it's actually going to be, but yeah, it's calling to me. We'll see. We will see. I don't really need to start anything new. Right, let me check my list. How are we doing? Always Flowers. Okay, that's it for whips. Time to have a look at a little bit of haul. Major in terms of haul. However, I did log on to Facebook Marketplace the other day, not long after we'd moved house, and spotted that somebody just a few miles down the road was selling some fabric. So I snatched that one up, and I couldn't really see from the photo exactly what was included, so I sort of took a bit of a punt, but it's worked out for the best. So I've got this, which is from Fabric Flair, and it's Luxury Lurex in 27 count with sparkly gold in the fabric. I don't know how well that will pick up on the camera, but this is going to be perfect for something Christmassy. So yes, very happy with that one. And then there's a few random scrappy bits. So there's a couple of bits of green, possibly 18 count, I think, Aida. And then the same with the blue. This is actually a nice big bit of blue. Again, I think it's 18 count, looks pretty small to me. That's a decent piece. That's going to be one of my, think about that wizard. No, I want to go hand-dyed for the wizard. I'm sure I've got some other stuff on there. I scored this massive piece. Whoa, look at this. Of 18 count Aida, and that's in a nice light creamy colour. I've definitely got stuff I can put on there, the charts that I've been holding on to. I got a nice size piece of pink Aida, sort of dusty pink, in I think again either 16 or 18, I reckon that's 18. Keeps on going, it's a gift that keeps on giving. This one is, again from Fabric Flair, it's Jobelan 28 count in antique white. I'm just wondering, is this big enough? No, okay, it's not big enough for what I was thinking I might use it for. This one comes with a needle and a thread card, which I've never seen bundled with fabric before, so that's nice, nice little bonus. I got some 18 count fiddler's cloth, which you may remember is my favourite fabric of all time, so really pleased that was included in this little bundle. I got another piece of slightly lighter pink Aida, I think it's 18 as well. So the lady I bought it from obviously was a fan of 18 count, which suits me, because I am as well. Two little scrappy bits of sort of lemony yellow Aida. And last but not least, this piece, which is kind of shiny. I hadn't noticed that before. It's got a little bit of sheen to it. Now that I'm sitting here in this rubbish light in my kitchen, I can't tell what colour it is. I think it's off-white, and again it's Aida. So for what I paid for it, which wasn't very much, that's a very decent amount of fabric, which will help accumulate my stash a bit more, and I've definitely got some stuff I can get going on there. So for example, I'm thinking for the fiddler's cloth, I would really like to start a pattern by Barbara Anna Designs. It was a free pattern and it's called Light. I've seen loads of Flosstubers working on it. It's a fox holding a lantern, wearing a beautiful dress. I think Michelle Bendy calls it her fox in drag. So yeah, that's probably going to be what I'll start on there. Very exciting times indeed. So that's it for the haul. Been pretty good. Just one second-hand purchase. Okay. So next up, I have a question for you guys, all you clever people out there. As I mentioned earlier, I was in the Magical Stitches and Literature Facebook group, and I really enjoyed doing the challenges. I loved how it got me working on lots of different whips and pulling things out I hadn't worked on for a while to meet the challenges. However, I don't like counting stitches. And so far, all the groups that I've been part of on Facebook, to meet the challenge, you have to say, do 400 stitches on this or 300 on that. And so I was wondering if any of you clever folk out there know of any stitching challenges where you are set certain targets or certain challenges and you can do them but without having to count stitches. So it might just say work on some red or work on some letters or things like that. Does anyone know of anything? If you do, leave me a comment down below please, because I would very much like to get back into some challenges. So I've basically got about a month and a half now before I start my new job. So there's going to be lots of stitching happening over the next few weeks, and it would be nice to, you know, do it for a challenge at the same time. Cool, hopefully you'll be able to help me out. Okay, very exciting times. In my last video, to celebrate reaching my first 100 subscribers, I said that I would give away this kit, which is a complete anchor kit. It's got a bit of plastic missing, but other than that, it's in good nick. Comes with the blue fabric. It's the Basilica Santa Maria, which I believe is in Venice. And I had a few comments of people who would like to try and win it, and I did the YouTube random comment the YouTube random comment generator before I started filming, and I'm pleased to announce the winner is Megan from Coffee Crafts Fabric. So well done, Megan. If you can either send me an email, stormystitcher@gmail.com, or send me a message on Instagram to let me know what your address is, I will get this in the post to you. And you said you would love to stitch this kit, so I hope you will enjoy doing that as well. Megan is a crafter who has just started hand dyeing fabrics. I'm part of her Facebook group, Coffee Crafts Fabric, and she's got an amazing array of beautiful hand dyed stuff, so go and check her out as well. Okay, so I thought, why not do another giveaway, because that was fun. So I have another complete anchor kit. This was also part of the haul I got off Facebook Marketplace. It's probably something I wouldn't stitch myself, so I thought I'll give it away to you lovely people just because. So this is a poppy. It's called Poppy, believe it or not. And it comes with everything. So it's 16 count cream aida, chart, full instructions and a needle. And look at this, it's actually got some full skeins of anchor thread and all the other threads in the back. There's the fabric up there. So if you would like a chance to win this complete kit, which is actually in better condition than the last one, then just leave me a comment underneath this video that includes the word poppy. So you could say I'd like to stitch the poppy, or I'd like to win the poppy, but it must include poppy, and then I will pick a random winner when I do my next video, whenever that may be. I won't say next week because it's not going to be next week, is it? Let's be honest. Okay, I think that's it for stitching. However, on my last video, someone messaged me to ask if, or commented rather, on the video to ask if I would do a flip through of the Lakeside Needlecraft Winter cross stitch book from last year. So they are making another one of these for summer. I think there was a delay because of the whole pandemic issue. But anyway, so what I'm going to do now is a quick flick through of the patterns in here. So if you're not interested in this and you're just here to see the stitching, then I will bid you adieu and see you next time. But otherwise, stick around and we'll have a look through some of the amazing stuff in here. So I got this last Christmas because it was 2019. I pre-ordered it because I could see from the sneak peeks it was going to be good. And I think there are, let me see how many, does it say? Yeah, 60 unique designs that can only be found in here. I will show you as many as I can. Some of them, they have like the pattern and the picture on the same page, and some of them just don't have a picture. So obviously I can't show you any where it's just pattern. This is the first one. Warm vibes, very cozy. That's from 8-Bit Stitch. Yeah, that one unfortunately I can't show you because they're both on the same page. Same with, oh, I might be able to do this one if I hold it carefully. So there's two here where they're both at the top of the page. So if you can see that one, white winter berries and a little snowman over there. Yeah. And on the next page, I can show you this one from Amanda Gregory Designs. Beautiful snowdrops. So far I think I've stitched 1.5 from this book, 1.5 patterns, but there are loads more in here I'd like to do. Here's this one by Rebecca Spencer from Apple Tree Cross Stitch. So this book also is a good way of discovering new designers. I know when I first got it, I went through and just kind of Googled all these designers. Bobo Stitch, that's quite a cute one. Santa's Laundry. And I've got Rocky Robin. Is that a picture? Yeah, that's okay, I can show you that. So that one is from Stitch and a Brew. There we go. And what else can I show you? Oh, Carolyn Manning. I'm obsessed with her at the moment. She's just released loads of amazing stuff. Birthstone patterns, which I need to definitely get a hold of, I think. This one is by Cesare Trovare. I think I've said that right. Just a really nice simple snowflake design. And then I can't show you those because they're on the same page. I think I'd like to do this one probably next after this book, because this is from Clouds Factory. Nice funky modern one, like that. A lot. And what else? This one is from Connie G. Bit of, well, it's black work, but it's in white, so it's white work. And the nice thing about these designs is they are all quite small. I don't think they're any bigger than 50 by 50. This one is Maria Brovko, who I see a lot of on Facebook. This one. I can't show you those ones, or that one. So there's one by Elizabeth Almond in here, which is nice if you like black work. Nice modern one of Robin Redbreast. Not many colours in that, so that should be quite an easy stitch. I like this one a lot actually, I should do this. Bar humbug. My dad would like that. He does that a lot at Christmas time. Winter Hell by Fiona Baker. I've done a few things by her before. Quite a nice one. I'm really hoping that when I'm flipping these over I'm not inadvertently flashing the charts at you. Penguins by Heather Nugent. A nice one. Some very cute things in here. I'm going to try and show you this one, even though it's on the same page as the pattern, because it's so cute. What's it called first? It's by Ingleside Imaginarium. It's jewel bucking, whatever that means. Can you see that? How sweet is that goat? Pretty sure it's a goat. There's a little story to go with it. I won't spoil that for you in case you end up buying the book. There's a couple here, Jardin Privé and JB Cross Stitch, but they're on the same page unfortunately, so I can't show you them, but I can show you this one, which is by Joan Elliott. Very nice, very traditional with the doves. We've got Slay All Day from Kate Blandford, Slay All Day, it's quite funky. That would be nice in metallics, I think. That one's not really going to show up if I show you, I don't think, so I'll skip that one. This is Snow Deer by Leslie Tier. Do you think she picked that because it rhymes with her name? Oh, I'll try and show you this one because this is cute. This is only a half-page one. Little piggy with a scarf on. Nearly there. Oh, I like this one because it's got purple in, my favourite colour. Little Dove, that one. Little Dove Designs. They've got some great stuff coming out at the moment. Check out Little Dove Designs, definitely. Oh, nice one just in red, monochromatic. Nordic Winter by Lord Libidan. He does all those conversions and things on his website. That's cool. Now this one I have done. I finished this one last Christmas and I ended up putting little red Mill Hill beads for all the red berries because I couldn't be bothered to do all those individual stitches, but that was nice. That was Lucy Heaton, that one. And Winter Blooms, this is from Maria Diaz, who's just done the Lakeside Needlecraft Caravan stitch along. Winter Sampler from Maloka Designs, lots of different wintry things, that's quite pretty. I like that. And this is one from Modern Folk Embroidery. They finished it as a pillow, but you could do it any way you want, I'm sure. That's full coverage, that one. It's quite pretty. Nearly there. Dear by Nora Corbett. When I showed my friend this book, she was like, yes, that's the one you need to stitch. I don't know, I didn't go for that one myself. Probably will do one day. Can I show you that? Yeah, I can, that's okay. It's like Northern Expressions needlework. I like the colours on that. That's very pretty. Very pretty indeed. This is another Russian stitcher, I think. Oksana Polyakov Studios. Quite nice. And, oh, there's more of these than I remembered. Blackwork Christmas Tree from Peppermint Purple. I know they specialise in blackwork. Waiting for Santa from the Primitive Hair. That one. I will do this one at some point. Stay toasty this winter. Very cute. That's from Ring Cat. See, there's so many designers in here I'd never heard of before. I will definitely be looking at on Etsy and places like that. Sarah Cookland has done a pretty little robin with a wreath around it. Very sweet. And I am doing this one. I can't remember if I must have flashed this at you during my whip parade. Must have done. So this is Sheena Rogers and it's called Winter Scene, and I like the bright colours in the trees. So I've nearly finished this one apart from the border pretty much. I don't know if I'll make it into a pillow. My sewing isn't that good. This is from the Stitch People. So there's a book you can buy called Stitch People, and it's all about designing little characters in cross stitch. So they did one for this book as well. And they actually include instructions, I think, for how to change like the skin tones and the hair. Pretty sure. So you can make it look like you, is the idea behind that one. Stitchonomy, who I follow on Facebook, do lots of good SALs. Nice simple one there. I think we're getting there. This one reminds me of Brussels sprouts. When I first looked at it, I was like, oh, Brussels sprouts, interesting. But it's not supposed to be, it's supposed to be a wreath. That's just my silly brain. That one is by Charlie Mankin. This one I really like. It's by Susan Bates. Very pretty. Winter Rooftops, that one's called. This one is by Sweet Annette, and it's a red truck. I see lots of people on Flosstube who love trucks, so that'll be right up their street. Putt Putt Santa on a putt putt bike. That's by Tempting Tangles. Owl in the Winter Wood by the Hawthorn Tree. This is another deer one that's really pretty. Similar to the other one, but different enough. That is by the Pixel Parade. Tiny Modernist. Winter Wishes. And Ursula Michael Designs. I Love Snow. Velvet Pony Designs, a nice geometric bears with some nice bright colours. Guys, that is it. So not quite all of them, because like I said, some of them had charts on the same page, but as many as I could show you from the Lakeside Needlecraft Winter Cross Stitch Book 2019. This is still available on their website. If you like quick and easy Christmas stitches, I would highly recommend it. And keep an eye out for the summer one, which is coming out anytime soon, I think. Okay, I think that's it for today. So I hope you enjoyed catching up with what I've been working on. Like I said, in the next few weeks, I'm going to have lots more stitching time than I've had before. So hopefully you'll be getting a lot done. In the last video I said, I really hoped that Pretty Little Tokyo got pulled on WhipGo. Guess what? It got pulled on WhipGo, so I've spent the first half of the month working on Deck the Halls from Caterpillar Cross Stitch, but now I'm going to switch over to Pretty Little Tokyo and get some more work done on that. It'd be nice to finish that one off because I really like it. And I think I said before I was stitching it for my brother. I mentioned that to my brother, or he saw it on the video or something. He was like, oh yeah, I've already got that. Grandma stitched that for me. So I guess I'll be keeping that one for myself, but it doesn't matter because, you know, I love Tokyo. Don't forget to enter the giveaway. Remember, you need to leave me a comment with the word poppy in underneath this video in order to be entered. And let me know about those non-counting stitching challenges if you're aware of any. I hope you get lots of lovely stitching time, and I will see you again soon. Bye.